Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show, Q&A episode today. If you want to get your question featured on an upcoming Q&A app, go to the website, bulletproof@bjj.com, hit the podcast tab and leave us a voicemail. We got some beauties coming in today. First one in here is coming in from Andy.
Sure. Hey guys, I was rolling the other day in no gi. I'm a gi guy, but I just thought I'd test the waters and see how I do in no gi.
Why not?
And I was rolling with this guy and he's quite crafty and he got me 3 times with this shallow guillotine choke. And it was really cool and sneaky. I couldn't defend it when I was going for an over-under pass. And after that, he was just kind of talking incessantly in the roll. And I was like, mate, what are you doing? Just stop talking. He was like, oh, come on, man, you can do it. 1 minute to go. Oh my God, come on, man. As if he broke me or something. I'm like, mate, let's just roll and quit talking. So my question is, how do you deal with people who talk while you're rolling? And how do you deal with that? Personally, for me, I think it's kind of undermining. Unless you're really good friends with the person, I just think it just should be abolished. Cheers. Bye.
Damn, yeah, very fair point.
Yeah, I mean, look, Josh Hinger's talked about this. He's a very strict no talking while rolling guy, even if they're your friend.
Right.
Once you shake hands, it's like, we're rolling.
Yeah.
Not even like jokes or like this. I think the way Josh had framed it is you're being a bad training partner when you do that because it's distracting.
Yeah.
And so even if you're better, it's very condescending to try and like encourage someone or like even, it's like,
yeah,
it's kind of gross. I would say smother. Just put your fingers in their mouth. Just like you want somebody just tell them shut the fuck up. I mean, that might be considered disrespectful. Terms and conditions. Look, if you don't know the person, maybe it's tough in the heat of the roll, right? Because this guy thinks he's better than you or whatever the deal. But you can just say, hey, man, let's just roll and really tell them in no uncertain terms, I'm not here for the chat. I'm here to bang. And then just let them know. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the problem in jiu-jitsu is we struggle to set the terms and conditions, and I wouldn't be cool with it either. I mean, I do it as a troll move as well, but usually only with friends, just with Joey.
I do it a bit too, and I'm like,
but only friends. Like I wouldn't, if I don't know you, there's no way I'm just setting up a little chat.
I usually tend to do it when someone's me up.
you're trying to distract them.
I'm like, oh, bro, that was brutal, but you're not getting, you're not going to get me. And I'm like, I just start talking some shit. I agree, and it's very undermining. I think in that scenario, like it sounds like you told the guy, hey man, let's just roll. So you tried to tell him, dude, cut it out. And sounds like he wasn't particularly like hearing that. So I don't know, probably a bit of a dick. I would just make it clear, like, hey man, like I'm really happy to chat, but let's do it after the roll, Yeah.
Or just be like, I'm not happy to chat ever.
That's right. Just turn it into a bitter gym rivalry.
Potentially.
I'm envisaging, Andy, from what you've said, is that he's put that submission on. He's hit you with it 3 times, but he's super gassed. He's burned his arms out.
He might be.
And he's like, I don't think I can stop your pass attempt the 4th time.
Maybe not.
And we know people do this, right? They give everything to a particular defense or attack or something, and then they're cooked.
And they're done.
Yeah, and so then he's like, well, how do I change the nature of the game now?
But I think also him talking it's almost like he's not taking it seriously. Like,
yeah, like it doesn't matter what happens now because I got my wins.
I win. Yeah, and it's the same kind of dick move as like when you roll someone well and they're like, hey man, I just got some tips for you. You know that thing you were trying? Look, let me school you up. It's just like, bro, I didn't ask you to be my coach. Like just let's roll and STFU.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Good question.
Hey, it's super common these days that you want to do some jiu-jitsu learning outside of your time in the academy. And it makes a lot of sense because you only have certain times you can get to the academy, but you might have idle time at a computer or on your phone during the day when you could put 20 minutes into studying some jiu-jitsu. Let me tell you from my own experience, there's a bunch of platforms out there, but by far the most effective platform I have come across and used personally is Submeta. It is the most comprehensive online learning library, And the format of the lessons actually solidify the stuff you're learning. So instead of just sort of spewing out a bunch of techniques and you hoping that you're going to remember them, it actually has a really neat little way of making sure you absorb the techniques and the learnings. And it even hits you with the questionnaire to make sure that you've processed the video you've just watched. Lachlan Giles is on there, B-Team's on there. There's a bunch of great stuff. And right now, you can get $16 off when you use the code Bulletproof16 at checkout. Go to submeta.io, use the code Bulletproof16 to get $16 off and take your learning of jiu-jitsu to the next level. Here's a message I got on Instagram the other day. Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that my daughter and I both downloaded the Bulletproof for BJJ app and we are loving it so much. I haven't enjoyed going to the gym this much for years. I'm kicking myself that it took me this long to try your programs. Fam, let me tell you, if you haven't checked it out, the Bulletproof for BJJ app is an excellent resource for you to build a strong, flexible body that can perform well on the mats and get injured as little as possible. It is as close to an insurance policy as you can have in this game, and you only need to train 2 to 3 hours a week to get the benefits from it. We have built the programs so that it takes the least amount of time possible so that you can focus on what you love, which is doing jiu-jitsu. If you go to the App Store now, you can start a 2-week trial for free. Simply search Bulletproof for BJJ, download the app, get in, start training, and get instant connection with JT and myself and the coaching staff so that we can help you on the journey. Go to the App Store, get the app. We'll see you on the inside. Number 2.
Hi, what's up, guys? I'm a huge fan. Calling from Sweden. My name is Ossi, calling from Sweden.
Ossi.
I'm a blue belt. I've been training for almost 2 years.
Nice.
I'm a 4th degree, 4-stripe blue belt. And I just wanted to ask you guys, I've been training no-gi for almost 8 years, but I've never been graded with any belts in my BJJ club. So my question is, I have the experience, with grappling and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And I had a discussion with my coach about, am I soon near purple belt or? And the thing is, my coach says, you're actually a purple belt, but I can't grade you because of the IBJJF, 2 years.
Yes.
It's a minimum to be a blue belt for 2 years before
Yeah.
you can be graded to purple belt. And my question is, would I just wait until I get graded to purple belt, or do I switch club? And I really like my coach, and I have a huge respect for him. And his real experience.
Okay.
Ossi.
Yeah.
From
What's that?
Sweden.
What is that background track?
Might be the first one. Yeah, sounds like it's on the elliptical.
It sounds like there's some cardio going on.
Oh, you go.
Oh, well, so it's really simple. This question's kind of come up before. I think it is difficult to find a great coach who you love and respect. So if you find that person and you trust them, then that is the most important thing. The IBJJF belts thing, look, unless you really want to go down that path and compete in those competitions, then it's relevant. It used to be the only show in town. It isn't now. So if I'm right in that message, he's saying he's trained jiu-jitsu for 2 years, but trained no-gi for 8?
I heard 8, yeah.
Wow. So you're probably a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Right? And if you love no-gi, then I would say that the IBJJF doesn't matter. But if you value the relationship with your coach, then just go in no-gi comps, wreck people, and then just keep chipping away at the gi.
Yeah.
If
that's what your coach values, then accept that. And
Yeah.
Smash in the meantime.
And you're not going to get worse. I guess that's what I'd say. There's no fear of your jiu-jitsu going down.
Yeah.
It's just you're going to be a nightmare. All these poor blue belts are just fucking Aussie, man, he's killing me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't be changing teams. Not if you like your coach. Adam, my coach, asked me the same question when he was planning to grade me to black belt, and he said, "Dude, I'd been a brown belt for I think 5 years by this point. But he was like, but your brown belt was never registered with IBJJF, so they know you as a purple belt.
Yeah.
So he said, so if we want to do it with the IBJJF like permission, we would register your brown belt now, and then in 12 months or 2 years, you can get your black belt.
Yeah.
He said, or if you don't care about it, I'll just give it to you sooner because I think you're ready, but I just want to give you that option. And I was like, he's like, look, if you're not really sure, you might as well just wait and get it, you know, so that you've got all bases covered. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me, you know.
Sure.
So in that regard, like, yeah, it also, I guess it depends on how quick you feel the need to move up, but I don't think you should be in a rush. I think it's a great opportunity to just tear it up in some comps. And I don't know, it sounds like it's within a year away.
Yeah, yeah. Skills are skills, man. It sounds like you've got those skills, and if you've got a good relationship with your coach, that's probably more important than any of the other extraneous facts.
Yeah, 100.
There's nothing worse than feeling tired and gassed out, and you've only just gotten into your first roll. You know what could be causing this, my friends? Dehydration. Dehydration is an absolute jiu-jitsu killer. What I do to make sure that I don't experience this is I use Sodi. Sodi is today's sponsor. Sodi, SODII.com.au has got you covered with all the flavors of the rainbow. The perfect mix of sodium, potassium, and magnesium keeps the water in your muscles so you can keep rolling longer, harder, and stronger and not feel gassed out. Go to sodi.com.au and use the code Bulletproof15 for 15% off. Get hydrated and roll stronger today.
Question number 3.
What's up, guys? My name is Nicholas. I'm a longtime listener from Mexico, and I love your show. My question is, what are your thoughts on the following situation? So in jiu-jitsu, we have people that start training when they're very young. But you can get your blue belt as early as 16. So sometimes when they turn 16 and they get their blue belt, they have over 4, 5, even 6 years of experience. Mm-hmm. And they get put in the same lane competitively as older guys, maybe guys in their 20s if you're not doing masters, that have been only training jiu-jitsu a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3. They got their blue belt, and now competitively they're on the same lane as these kids that have so much more experience.
Yep.
Why isn't this addressed in jiu-jitsu competitions or in jiu-jitsu communities? And maybe thoughts on things we could do to change it. Thanks for the attention, guys.
Nicholas, legend. Good people of Mexico.
Yeah, shout out. Look, man, I just think that's the game. If you're gonna roll Cade Rotolo, it's Cade Rotolo. You just don't have an option, bro. Like,
I don't know if every factor can be accounted for.
No, I mean,
in providing an even playing field in competition.
I think it's understandable, right? That it can be a shock if you've only trained for 2 years or 3 years, and then suddenly you've got someone who's trained for 8 and they're a phenom.
Yeah.
Like
and they're 17.
Yeah.
They're Kainoa.
Yeah.
I look at Kainoa downstairs
Yeah.
and I'm just like, God, you'd hate to come up against him in a comp.
He's elite. His dad's a black belt. The kid's raised on jiu-jitsu. He's
Full-time
full-time.
grappler. Yeah.
He's
just entered adult
specimen.
division. Yeah.
He comes here, he lifts weights. Like, the kid is, I think he got silver at Worlds in the junior category. Like, yeah, you are going to maybe face that kid. Understand this. In judo, there are no belts. There's only weight categories.
So you don't compete relevant to your belt.
No, you have to bang with black belts. It doesn't matter what standard you're at. You want to compete? Compete against black belts. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That's not fair, is it?
That's a real shift.
That's the standard. You want to go because some clubs will grade you on your ability to beat higher belts. Well, that's what you got to do. And I won a couple of comps as a yellow belt. It wasn't because I was so great at judo, but I was a seasoned competitor in jiu-jitsu, so it wasn't like I was a total rookie. And plus, I know a few little awkward things to mess up traditional judo guys. But that's the thing. You just have to accept the terms and conditions. And it sounds unfair, bro, so I hear you, but I don't think the game's getting any easier. The world champions are no longer 30 years old or 27. They're 19.
Yeah.
we're seeing it. The champions are getting younger and younger, and they are then going to dominate the sport for the next 10 years. There's kids who are trained jiu-jitsu now when they're 3 years old. And that I just believe that it's become more competitive because that's the evolution of the sport. In the same way, if you want to get into football or Olympic lifting or anything, you got to start when you're a kid. Otherwise, you're not going to be the champ. You can still be great at jiu-jitsu, but you're not going to be the champ.
Yeah, I fully agree. You could make a similar kind of argument for like say someone who just got their black belt and they're in their late 30s and they're like, I'm going to go do the Masters 2 division. And then Shanji Hibera rocks up. Great, most medaling
Greatest
competitor of all time. And you've probably seen his videos lately. He's jumped back into competition.
Yeah.
And he just submits everyone and
Destroys.
wins everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's unfair. But that's just what it is. And in the same way that we've got this new generation of young grapplers coming up into the adult division, we've got this new generation of slightly older grapplers coming up into the masters and on those categories.
Yeah.
And it's just the elevation of the standard. And it's tough when you're where we are in this time and you were used to a time when you might show up to a comp and maybe it was just like
pretty good.
Yeah, everyone was about your age and probably trained about the same amount of time. It's different now.
It is different now. And I don't think that means jiu-jitsu can't be fun or it can't be good, but you just need to know that you're going to have to move to Alaska and compete in the Alaskan nationals. Like, no, it's just...
You get some hardcore that's just grown up within the Arctic Circle and just grappled polar bears and shit.
Exactly. Like there's this guy who trains at Los Benditos that Cap was talking about.
Yeah.
Where he's like, the guy's a bear. He bullies everyone. I forget his name, Vusalata or whatever his name is. I think he's Romanian, but he's judo black belt, was like a 4-time wrestling national champion. And everyone at that gym, they're all big, they're all strong. They all say he's the strongest guy they've ever rolled.
Yeah.
And I said, I take that bet. I said, I'm training for that guy. I just see him. You see clips of him bullying everyone in that gym. Owen, the other Faris,
Yeah.
all of them. He bashes them all. And who's this guy? He's just some hardened guy who's been grappling his entire life, and he will embarrass you. And so this is the humbling nature of jiu-jitsu. There's monsters out there, and I don't think any change to the structure of jiu-jitsu will make that better or worse.
No, and I don't think it's not necessary. Yeah. The other flip on that, is if like that person who has come in at a young age into your division have more experience training jiu-jitsu, but they've been a kid for most of their life. Whereas, I'm not sure how old you are, but let's say you've been an adult for most of your life. So you've had more years of being bigger and stronger, and you could have used those years in the gym, right? You could have become like physically elite and whatnot. Whether you have or you haven't, I'm saying that you have a great advantage there in a certain, depending on how you look at it too.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's just why the cookie crumbles.
Well, dude, you're older. You've had more loss, more sorrow. There's a reason why old men and old women are f***ing strong. They've been through some shit. So I don't think being older is a disadvantage. You just got to use your advantages against them.
Good question though, Nicholas. Appreciate you asking. And everyone, Aussie and Andy, good ones today. Guys, if you want to leave us a voicemail, please do it. If you got something you want to ask, jiu-jitsu politics, the journey, strength, conditioning, whatever, go to Bulletproof for BJJ.com, hit the podcast tab, big red button, record us a voicemail, and we'll feature your question on an upcoming episode. Chew.
Shoo.